Hey crochet crew, ready to crochet? Hoist the hooks, me mateys, crochet time. Today we're going to be crocheting this crochet turtleneck halter top. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. For this tutorial you'll need medium weight yarn, scissors, 2.5 crochet hook and darning needle. To begin, grab your yarn and make a slip knot. Wrap the yarn around your finger twice and take the first loop and place it over the second loop. Then take the second loop and place it over the loop which was originally the first one. Tighten the knot by pulling both ends of the yarn gently. This will create a secure but adjustable knot. Grab your crochet hook and insert it in the knot. We're going to make a foundation chain. Following, you're going to yarn over and pull the yarn through the slip knot. That's the first chain. Yarn over and pull the yarn through the loop. Create a chain of your preferred length to fit across the upper chest. Ensure the chain has an even number of stitches. I crafted a sum of 28 chains. Following, you're going to block the last chain with your fingers and add an additional 3 chains. This will act as our first double crochet. To make a double crochet, you're going to yarn over and you're going to insert your crochet hook in the 4th chain from the hook. Then you're going to pull the yarn through the hook. You're going to yarn over again and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops. Yarn over, insert your hook in the next chain, pull the yarn through the chain, yarn over again and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Work a single double crochet in each chain until you reach the end of the chain row. I'll meet you there. Here we are at the end of the row. You should have an odd number of double crochets. Now we are going to start increasing. So to begin the next row, you're going to chain 2. The chain 2 will act as our first stitch. And then you're going to yarn over and prepare for a double crochet in that first stitch. You can do that, but instead I'm going to do a stacked single crochet. A stacked single crochet provides a neater and more polished edge. To make a stacked single crochet, you're going to turn your work and make a single crochet in the first stitch. Insert your hook in the first stitch, pull the yarn through the stitch, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Instead of going to the next stitch, you're going to make a single crochet on top of the single crochet that you've made. In that loop, that one, you're going to insert your crochet hook in that loop at the edge. So insert your crochet hook in that loop, pull the yarn and pull through 2 loops. So that's a stacked single crochet and it will act as our first stitch. In that same stitch that we've made our stacked single crochet, we're going to prepare for a double crochet. Next, you're going to chain 1. You're going to skip 1 stitch and go into the next stitch with a double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch and go into the next stitch and work a double crochet. You're going to do that all the way to the end, remembering that there is 2 double crochets in the last one. Here I am at the end and we want to match with what we did at the beginning. Chain 1 and in the last stitch, we're going to work 2 double crochets to match what we did at the beginning. That's my first double crochet and you're going to go into the same stitch and work another double crochet. That's my second double crochet. To begin the next row, you could either chain 2 or work a stacked single crochet like me. For a stacked single crochet, in that first stitch, you're going to insert your hook in the first stitch, pull the yarn through the stitch, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Then you're going to insert your hook in that loop. this loop at the edge. You're going to insert your hook in that loop. Then you're going to pull the yarn through the loop and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. That will count as our first stitch. You could either do that or chain 2. In the same stitch, you're going to work a double crochet. In the next stitch, prepare for a double crochet. We are going to replicate the previous row, chain 1, and on top of the double crochet from the previous row, work a double crochet. Chain 1 and work a double crochet on top of the double crochet from the previous row. That is going to be the pattern until the end of this row, remembering that the last stitch has 2 double crochets. I'll meet you there. Here I am at the end, and I want to match what I did at the beginning, which was 2 double crochets in the first stitch. So at my last stitch, I'm going to work 2 double crochets. This is what the last stitch looks like. If you're making a stacked single crochet at the beginning of every row, make sure you don't miss it. I'm going to go in that last stitch and work a double crochet. So that is my first double crochet, and I'm going to go into the same stitch and work another double crochet. That's my second double crochet, and that completes our row. To begin the next row, I'm going to turn my work. You could chain 2 or make a stacked single crochet in that first stitch. In that same stitch, I'm going to prepare for a double crochet. This row will be a little different. In the next stitch, we're also going to do an increase. So work 2 double crochets in the next stitch. That's my first double crochet, and that's my second double crochet. So we've made an increase in the first and the second stitch. Then double crochet until you get to the space. This time we're going to double crochet in the chain 1 space. So in that chain 1, we're going to work a double crochet. You can either go under it or you can go into the stitch, into the chain. Insert a double crochet like that. Then you're going to chain 1 and skip the double crochet stitch and go into the next chain 1 space and work a double crochet. So you're going to chain 1, skip the double crochet stitch and go into the chain 1 space and work a double crochet. You're going to repeat this pattern until the end of the row, remembering that the last 2 stitches has 2 double crochets. I'll meet you there. Here I am at the end of the row with 2 stitches left, and in that stitch I'm going to work 2 double crochets. That's my first one, and go into the same stitch and work a second double crochet. Then in my last stitch I'm going to work 2 double crochets. So we've matched what we did at the beginning. That was an increase in the first 2 stitches. We've also increased in the last 2 stitches. To begin the 4th row, turn your work, and I'm going to make a stacked single crochet in the first stitch. In case you're having trouble locating this stitch at the end of the row, you can put a safety pin or a stitch marker. I'm going to go into that first stitch and work a double crochet. We're only going to increase in the first stitch. After, you're going to double crochet along until the space. While we're at the space, in this row we're going to replicate the previous row. So chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, and on the double crochet below, work a double crochet. Chain 1, skip the chain 1 space and work a double crochet on the double crochet below. chain 1, skip chain 1 space, work a double crochet on the double crochet below. Repeat pattern until the end of the row, remembering the last stitch has 2 double crochets. Here I am at the end of the row, and in that last stitch I'm going to work 2 double crochets. That's my first one, and to match what I did at the beginning, I'm going to work another double crochet in the same stitch, and that completes our row. To begin the next row, turn your work, and I'm going to make a stacked single crochet in the first stitch. The stacked single crochet counts as my first stitch. In that same stitch, I'm going to work a double crochet. Double crochet in every stitch until you reach the space. Here I am at this space, and this time in the chain 1 space, I'm going to work a double crochet. Next, you're going to chain 1, skip the double crochet below, and go into the chain 1 space and work a double crochet. Chain 1, skip the double crochet below, go into the chain 1 space and work a double crochet. Repeat pattern until the end of the row, remembering the last stitch has 2 double crochets. Here I am at the end of the row, and in that last stitch I want to match what I did at the beginning, which was an increase. So in the last stitch I'm going to work 2 double crochets. That's my first one. I'm going to go into the same stitch and work another double crochet, and that completes our row. To begin the next row, turn your work. I'm going to make a stacked single crochet in the first stitch. My stacked single crochet counts as my first stitch. In that first stitch, I'm going to work a double crochet. We're going to increase in the second stitch as well, so 2 double crochets in that second stitch. That's my second double crochet. So I've increased in the first and second stitch this time. So in every third row, we increase in the first and second stitch. Double crochet in every stitch until you reach the space. Here I am at the end of the row, and I'm going to replicate the previous row. So I'm going to chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, and go into the double crochet below and work a double crochet. Chain 1, skip the chain 1 space and work a double crochet on the double crochet below. You're going to repeat this pattern until you're left with 2 stitches. Here I am at the end of the row, and I want to match what I did at the beginning, which was an increase in the first 2 stitches. So in my second last stitch, I'm going to make 2 double crochets in that same stitch, and then I'm going to go into my last stitch and also make 2 double crochets in that stitch. Now that it is wide enough to fit around your bust area, we are going to stop increasing. So I'm going to do my stacked single crochet, and that will be my first stitch, and I'll go into the next stitch and work a double crochet. Crochet 1 double crochet in each stitch, but this time place only 1 double crochet in the last stitch. We are done with increases. To begin the next row, I'm going to do a stacked single crochet, which counts as my first stitch. Then I'm going to chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and go into the next stitch and make a double crochet. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, go into the next stitch and place a double crochet. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, go into the next stitch and place a double crochet. You're going to repeat this pattern until the end of the row. I'll meet you there. Here I am at the end of the row. I've already chained 1 and I'm going to prepare for a double crochet in my last stitch. Just 1 double crochet. Turn your work and I'm going to make my stacked single crochet, which counts as my first stitch. You could also chain 2 and it will count as your first stitch. You're going to go into the chain 1 space and make a double crochet. In the next stitch, in the double crochet below, you're going to make a double crochet. You're going to repeat this pattern until the end of this row. And after this row, you'll keep repeating it until your piece reaches your desired length. After the box design, I made 2 rows of double crochets. So in total, I had 5 rows of a straight edge. Now I'm going to show you how to make the side bit that wraps around your back. In the first double crochet space, you're going to make 2 single crochets. That's my first one and that's my second single crochet. Then you're going to go into the next double crochet space and make 2 more single crochets. That's my second single crochet. Go into the next space and make 2 single crochets. That's my second single crochet. And you're going to repeat that until where you stopped increasing. Once you're done, turn your work and you're going to go into the second stitch. Don't chain, don't make a chain or anything. Go into the second stitch and leave the first stitch alone. Go into the second stitch and work a single crochet. Go into every other stitch and work 1 single crochet until the end of the row. Turn your work and you're not going to chain or anything. You're going to go into the second stitch and make a single crochet. Make 1 single crochet in every stitch until the end of the row. Turn your work and you're not going to chain or anything. In the second stitch, you're going to make a single crochet, and in every other stitch, you're going to make 1 single crochet until the end of the row. You're going to keep doing this pattern of decreasing until you're left with 1 stitch. Once you're left with one stitch, you're going to make a chain long enough for the strap. I made 100 chains, but you can make as many chains as you'd like. I'll meet you once you're done. After you're done with the chains, you're going to go into the second chain and make a slip stitch. Go into the next chain and make a slip stitch. You're going to be making slip stitches in every chain until the first chain that you made. This will help make the strap sturdy. Here I am at the first chain of the strap. I'm going to make my last slip stitch, then I'm going to chain one and I'm going to cut off my yarn. You're going to repeat exactly what you've done on this side on the other side. For the upper part of the top, you can leave it as it is and make straps at the top, or you can create a turtleneck. I've left a video link for you. You can find it at the top of the screen and it's also in the description box below. The video tutorial is very detailed and simple to follow. First make that piece and then we'll attach it to our top. Just make sure the ridges on the choker or the turtleneck is the same size as the top part of the halter top. You're going to thread your darning needle. Position the pieces, make sure they are aligned correctly. You're going to insert the needle through both layers of the crochet pieces, from the back to the front, starting at the edge. Pull the yarn through, leaving a small tail at the back to secure it. You should now have the needle and yarn coming out of the front of the pieces. You're going to repeat. Tuck away any leftover yarn, and I trust you had a blast with this tutorial. Like and subscribe to let me know you want more videos like this one, and follow me on social media at Not Kisses.